So
yeah, so that was the real estate.
Now hold on, I got something to add.
Okay, what?
So I got a issue that I ran into that I could have prevented it, but I was being greedy, right? Yeah. So y'all notice this like consistently, almost every time that I talk about losses, most of the time it was all due to my own like negligence. You know what I mean? It's always me being greedy, me trying to jump the gun, me like, you know what I mean? Yeah. But I'm not afraid to take these L's, you know? I'm built for it. I'm built different.
Until I'm pay rent for 6 months.
That's exactly where we're going. That's exactly where we're going. So check it. Look. So I get this rental in Ohio, in Youngstown, Ohio, right? So Youngstown, Ohio is a gold mine, right? Like you could buy 30, 40, $50,000 houses 5 minutes away from the university, the state university by the airport that got 16,000 students in there. You could go buy a house for 30, 40, 50 grand, right? So I bought a house out there. The thing is, there's like a big meth problem, and it's like a blue collar city. So a lot of people start fleeing. Maybe 20, 30 years ago, a lot of people start fleeing Youngstown. So anyway, I found a house for like 40 grand. This is 2019. I paid $42,500 for it. I get it. It's empty. It's a nice house. Like this house is so nice that I would personally live in it if I had to. You know what I mean? Like
it's a dope house, and people think 42,000.
Yeah, you're thinking like, how dope could this house be? Like, no, like I would live in this house. It cost me 42.
There was no issue, no roof issues,
nothing. Like it was
foundation issues.
Yeah,
like the paint was pretty good. Yeah. Like it was a solid. A solid house.
So it's my second house that I bought. Right. So the first house I bought was in St. Louis, and I had a tenant in there already. So this is the first time I'm dealing with placing a tenant. Right. So I'm like. Now, mind you, I don't have a mortgage, so I'm not
first
trying
time with placing a tenant and first time dealing with property managers, so like...
No, because the first unit had property managers.
But in a different state.
Oh, yeah, okay.
State.
Cool,
so a new property manager.
So new property manager, I got to see what their procedures are, I got to, you know what I mean? So
because the first property manager kind of had that rapport with the realtor, so that
they inherited me.
But now you're dealing with uncharted territory, so just put that on there.
All right, so cool. So property manager, he's new at this too, and I know that he's new being a property manager. So I'm working with him, he's working with me. I'm out of state investor. He's a senior in college. He's trying to get his feet wet, and I'm like, we're gonna take a chance on each other. You know what I mean? Like, hey, we're gonna make this work. You know. And he's committed to the process. He understands my vision, all that stuff. He's a little younger. I'm like, cool. I ain't worried about none of that. You know, let's go. Yeah. So. He's like, hey bro, like I got the first people that are interested in the property, you know, like my rent is $825. He's like, they agreed to the rent, they did all this. I drew up a lease, look over the lease, sign it, blah blah. If you want it, I'm like, all right, here's what I need. I need, a credit report. I need you to call their employment, verify their employment, blah blah blah. I need, stubs, all that stuff. So a man and a woman. The woman has a job at the hospital. She's been working at this job for like 12 years. There's no issues with her at all. The dude is like, bro had like 4 or 5 jobs in the last 3 months. Like, and they're like, like he kind of moves around. But the whole thing is when my property manager called me, he told me that the situation was she was on the last lease at their last place by herself, and the landlord didn't want him being in and out of the house because he wasn't on the lease. And I guess she had an issue with him.
Was this a couple or something?
Yeah, it's a couple. So then they called me, so the property manager, he calls me, and he's like, yeah, like I guess they're getting evicted out of their old spot because the property manager is tripping that her boyfriend is there, but because her boyfriend ain't on the lease. And me, I'm so used to being a renter. I understand that people be tripping on you, like you don't do nothing. People they just don't like the way you look, and they get to tripping on you. You know what I mean? Like your music is too loud. Like nah, I'm just playing a song you don't like. You know what I mean? Like I understand this, right? So I'm like, what? That's I'm on their side basically. I'm like, man, let's get them in the house, right? So his stuff was a little iffy. He had a few jobs. You know what I mean? His credit was whatever, but he's only responsible for half the rent, half of $825. Any grown man should be able to come up with this, right? So I'm like, man, they good, let's go. But in reality, I was really just rushing to get people in the house so I can start making this money back. I just dished out all this money for this house. So they pay the first few months. Nothing happens, you know what I mean? No problems. And then I just kind of noticed that the woman pays her rent between the 1st and the 3rd. The rent is due by the 5th, right? Which is already kind of lenient. And then the dude will pop up on the 21st paying his rent, right? And I'm not charging them no late fees. I'm kind of being lenient, right? But I realized what happens is there's nobody who's going to pay you rent on the 21st and then turn around and pay you on the 1st again. So once you let them go that far late, it kind of just becomes a habit, you know what I mean? So the pandemic happens, I call them. They don't talk to me when they have issues and stuff. They talk to the property manager, right? So you guys worried about people calling you because you sink and all that stuff, bro. They're gonna call you. They're gonna call your property manager. So when when COVID happens, this is in March, April. We don't really know how bad it's gonna be, but we know some things are starting to shut down. So I call them, right? I only spoke to them one time on the phone. I call them and I'm like, I'm gonna give you guys 2 free months of rent. Like, don't worry about it. You know, save your money. Make sure you have money for food. Make sure you have money, you know, for your gas. Get back and forth to work. I'm not tripping. You know, I'm like, I'll give y'all 2 months of rent. They're like, oh my God, are you serious? I'm like, yeah, like good. You know, I'm like, y'all good. Yeah. They took that as a weakness, and then they just stopped paying their rent. Like, they never even called me back to be like, I'm gonna be late for my rent. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. They stopped paying their rent. They went from August, September, October, November, December. So December their lease ends. So they went 5 months without paying rent, right? They kind of paid half the rent in between April and August. They paid like half every month. And they're just not communicating. They're not saying anything. So I'm like pretty mad about the whole situation. But I'm like, December is about to be here. Their lease is up. We're good. You know what I mean? They're going to get out my shit. Like, we're going to be good.
What were you wrong?
I was wrong as hell, right? So December comes and they just squat, and
they've already been squatting.
Yeah, they basically already been squatting.
They ain't pay shit, they squatting.
Yeah, they're squatting, so they basically don't leave, and I have to pay money out to lawyers and blah 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 to go put these notices on the door, and then there's this I forget what it's called. I can't evict them, right? In the state of in the state of Ohio, I can't evict them. They know they can't be evicted. Why would you pay rent? Yeah. Why would you pay rent? There's no consequences. You know what I mean? So, anyways, I say that to say all this. I went 5 months without them paying rent, and they squatted for 4 extra months, right? All this could have been prevented if I would have vetted more thoroughly. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you guys are being evicted from your last place because this dude is coming in and out. Instead of me thinking like, oh, the other landlord must be tripping. No, the other landlord must know something because there's thousands and thousands of other people out there who don't got no smut on their record. You know what I mean? Who don't got
And this is that's the crazy thing about it is you were actually trying to look out for them, and that shit ended up backfiring on you. So it's like for those people out there who are always hating on people who are landlords, it's like there's
a lot of landlord hate.
Yeah, it's like you're on the hook for that, right?
Yeah, if I had a mortgage, I still would have had to pay.
So it's like people don't know people don't know that you paid for this house cash, right? They don't know that. Nobody else knows that but you. But it's like, with that being said, if you would have had a mortgage out on the house and you would have had to pay the bank back during this whole COVID,
the bank don't want to hear none of that, bro.
The banks weren't giving the relief to people who were owners. They were only giving relief to people who were tenants. So it's like you were trying to look out for these tenants. And
I thought I was doing the right thing morally.
You were trying to do the right thing,
but it didn't make sense for business.
Business wise, it didn't make sense, and it's like
literally it didn't make sense,
at all. And I don't even know where I was even going with it. I was going somewhere. I kind of lost track. But it's like people don't realize the responsibilities that come with being a landlord. And it's like people are like, oh, landlords are trash. Is this? What about people that think that it's okay to live somewhere for free and not pay someone? Like, how much of a shitty person do you have to be? It doesn't matter. The lowest point when I was sleeping in my car, at that lowest point, when I eventually did get into a place, me and Jawan ended up getting a spot together. We had some times where we didn't even.
Jawan, if you watching this,
he's gonna watch it. So
what up, bro?
There was times where we had to go. I don't even want to say it, we had to go find food. I'll just say it like that, right? So we had to find food, and one of our main priorities was making sure we paid rent, right? So like,
because this person is giving me a place to live.
Rent was the top thing. We put paying our rent over making sure we ate food first, which is crazy to think about, but it's like.
That's the way it's
where does a person feel like it's okay to live somewhere rent free off of somebody else? Because like somebody else is on the hook for this. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like no one knows. So it's like what type of person you have to, like, I understand COVID was rough and things went bad, but it's like those people have that intent before.
The crazy part is, if they would have called me and be like, oh, Mr. Hey, Johnson, we can't, I'd be like, cool.
I can give you 100 here, 200 there.
Yeah, that's another thing. Like, hey, bro, all I got is $8 on me. Cool, I take it.
Like,
them niggas
whatever.
Like,
they just,
fuck
like,
you, bro.
gave them too, like, you try to do the right thing, you try to look out for them. It's like, damn, this is how people repay you. And there's just a lot of shitty people in the world. And that's why you have to vet, like, when you have...
Moral of the story is you gotta take these preventative measures. And you think, like, you know, like, there's a difference between the way that you see things, like, kind of, you know, like, morally, I feel like morally I was doing the right thing, but business-wise, I was being irresponsible. Because it's easy in real estate to understand, I guess, like, okay, it's easy in real estate to understand, okay, I'm still on the hook for a mortgage if I have one.
Right.
I'm still on the hook for state insurance no matter what.
No matter what.
If I have to,
taxes,
I need my insurance. It's mandatory by the state. I need taxes. It's right. I got to pay my taxes.
And that's the thing. You could have worked something out with them like, hey, just cover the taxes and the insurance, and once you get on your feet, you know what I mean? Like, you probably would, like, people don't even think to work, like, if you're having an issue,
like, let me work with you.
Yeah.
All right, but
this is completely fucking you over.
So that's real estate. It's very straightforward in real estate. In business, it's a different ball game. Because I have 11 employees right now, right? It's a different ball game. I can't be out here trying to make these, like, you know what I mean, kumbaya, hakuna matata type deals because I'm on the hook for these salaries, bro. Yeah. Like, if I told you to come work for me, I'm covering your salary, whether things go right, go wrong. So people are looking towards you, you know, for you towards, like, to be the leader, you know? So, it's not just, I want you guys to know that entrepreneurship, it ain't just all about taking trips and, you know what I mean, taking cool pictures on your laptop and, like, bro,
buying cool things.
Yeah, buying cool things and blah blah blah. Like, no, bro, this is a serious responsibility. Even in real estate, it's a serious responsibility. Like, you're the landowner. So what happens if your tenants have mold? You're planning a trip and you want to pay for this trip with your tenants' money, but they got mold in their house and you know you need to take care of this. You know what I mean? Like, it's a serious responsibility to be in charge of where somebody lives, to own where someone. You need to provide them with a safe environment.
I mean, people like, if they get hurt, if you have stairs that need to be replaced and you know it, and someone falls through one of the stairs, or if you know the roof is bad, you keep putting it off because you out living this lavish life, and you're like, I'll get to it.
And these are the things that people really don't come out and say, but you're like, bro, if y'all didn't notice what happened in the pandemic, when these businesses they had to shut down because the state or the federal government made it mandatory for these businesses to shut down. What we basically found out was financially, all these multi-billion-dollar businesses were living paycheck to paycheck. Right. There's no reason in the world when American Airlines drops their booking rate by 80% and in 40 days they
need a bailout.
Yeah, they need a bailout. 40 days later, they were living
millions of dollars.
They were living paycheck to paycheck, but everybody on the court, like in the everybody on their board of directors was very well paid. You know what I mean? Yeah, so the first people, so their CEO was paid very well. You know what I mean? So the first people on the cutting board are the people you see at the airport doing the hand-to-hand transactions, right? So I'm saying that to say this, like, it's a very serious responsibility to be a business owner, especially when you get to the point where you have employees, man. Like, I'll personally guarantee somebody's salary with my own money, you know what I mean? So even if the company goes over, like, bro, I said you're gonna work here, you're gonna work here, you know what I mean? Like, it's that serious. And if you're not willing to take it that serious, this ain't the life for you, you know what I mean? Like, if you're not willing to, like, all right, bro, right now I gotta replace the floor in the kitchen in one of my properties, and this is the first issue I've ever had with this unit, but it's like, that's a responsibility, bro. You got.
I gotta get a tree removed.
Yeah, you're
so
like.
Now I got Biz. My property manager hit me up yesterday. So now we're in the process. She got a bidding war going on to get this big ass tree removed.
Oh, another thing too, y'all. When y'all property managers hit y'all up talking about they got a quote for this and that. Nah, bro, you need 3
to 5 quotes at minimum.
And then you need to call and verify them too, right? Because what's gonna happen is I'm a realtor or I'm a property manager. My homeboy got a roofing company.
He gonna overcharge. He's gonna kick down.
They gonna backdoor you. This dude just be in California doing this stuff. You know what I mean?
Especially if you're an out of state. Owner.
Yeah. So you guys need to get multiple bids. And then you need to call to verify these bids. You know what I mean? When you call a locksmith or when they send you an email with all right, these are the prices for the locksmith. cool. I'm about to call one of them.
Yeah.
What does it take you 30 minutes to be like, I'm the owner of this property and I just want to get a quote?
Yep.
You don't even got to tell them that you already have a quote. Just get a quote and see if that quote matches up with your property. You know what I mean? You trust what you verify. You trust the people that are in your circle. You trust the people. That's
preventative measures that you have to take. That's part of staying ahead of the game. Like I said, trust, always verify, because you know, people just are shady. It's unfortunate. Not saying people are, not saying that anyone's going to do you dirty, but always verify, because you just never know what people got going on. And that's how you stay from getting horror stories, whether it be in real estate, whether from being an entrepreneur running a business, whether it be whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, you gotta always, and that's, people are just lazy. They don't want to do it. When I give the class and stuff, I tell people, you know, contact 5 different lenders, contact 5 different realtors. I showed you the realtor out here. She knows she's probably gonna be watching this, and nothing against her. She's great, but I told her I have other real estate agents, and she didn't like it. But it's like, that's the name of the game.
You still good in my book.
Huh?
Nah, go ahead.
Yeah. So it's like, that's the name of the game. It's like, you can't just take one person's word. You can't just go off of one person's. You know what I mean? It's
you gotta go where you're gonna be treated the best, man. So when you ask for, hey, this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a 2 to 4 unit. Here's my budget. Here's blah blah blah. And people are like, I'll get to you on Tuesday. And we're Tuesday, like, bro, I gotta wait 7 days.
Right.
Somebody out there, like we were saying earlier, bro, it's a cutthroat game, bro. Like, people gonna feed their family. Somebody's gonna stay up all night and give me this.
When you guys went looking for cars, you guys told old buddy the price range that you want, and he came back with something completely different. You know what I mean? So it's like, when you tell someone specifically, if you tell a property manager, a real estate agent, a business partner, anyone, if you say, hey, this is what I want, this is what I'm looking for, if they come back with something else, that means they just don't respect you. They're not listening.
Flat out.
They just flat out don't respect you.
I don't care. Let me sell you something else. You know?
Right. So that should be already your flag. Like, all right, I don't need to be doing nothing with this person.
Let's
bring up some questions. Yeah,
let's bring up some questions that y'all had on Twitter, man. Hey, and I know y'all thought that this episode was coming out in 2024.
Oh, yeah, we seen that.
Yeah, we seen y'all. We back at it.
And
what is this, like 6 days later?
6 days later.
Fuck y'all.
And it's crazy because that first video that we did, we honestly didn't even know where we were gonna go with that. We was like, let's just get on here and talk some shit. And you guys end up fucking with it, and you guys wanted another one, and then the pandemic happened, and so here we are.
Ooh, I like this one. All right, here you go. If you were both giving $500 in a PayPal account, a tent, food, water for the duration of the goal, a phone, and no access to any other assets, how long will it take you to reach 10K? And what plays might you utilize to achieve the goal? All right, bro, I'm assuming together, so we just got a phone, some water, a tent, a PayPal account with $500, and we got to get 10 racks.
Okay, I'm gonna go to Home Depot.
Okay.
Rent out some lawn care equipment. Rent out a water pressure machine, and I'm gonna go around. I'm gonna start cutting people's grasses, and I'm gonna start cleaning people's cars. So I'm gonna go door to door, all day, every day, from the time I wake up until the time I.
People didn't even know you could rent equipment from Home Depot.
Yeah, you can rent equipment.
And Home Depot gives you free classes, bro. Yeah. If you don't know how to do something, if you don't know how to do something.
I took a free class with Home Depot on how to lay back tile. But they do like flooring. They do how to install shower equipment, how to do
backsplash in your kitchen.
Yeah, so
free classes, bro. All you gotta do is.
So we were gonna buy cheap properties, and we were gonna live in them, and we still actually might do it at least a couple times, and we were gonna renovate them ourselves. So I went and started taking classes so we can learn how to do some stuff so we can save money.
Me and him are like, we're like Jordan and Pippen out here. I'm like, all right, bro, here's the play. We're going to get the properties from the land bank. We can live in the property or near the property while we're working on it. We can hire some outside help. Yeah. It'll take us X amount of time to get this. We'll give them an instruction on how to do it. We got some help from such and such. He's like, all right, I'm about to sign in for some classes. He started going to classes. That's what I mean. That's what we were talking about earlier. How you might tell your friend something and be like, bro, that shit ain't gonna work. Like, buddy right here, like, all right, I just signed up for these classes. I got one on this Saturday. Next Saturday I got one. Then 3 weeks from now I got another class. I'm gonna learn how to do this, and this. Yep. Boom. All right.
But yeah, so back to the question. So I'm gonna get all the equipment I need. I'm gonna start cutting grasses. I'm gonna start cleaning people's cars. When I get enough money to where I don't have to rent equipment anymore, I'm gonna just buy the equipment myself, and I'm gonna just keep doing it until I get.
All right. So how much would it cost? How much is the equipment gonna cost for you to rent?
It depends. I think for lawnmowers is like 30 like between $30 to $50, and the pressure
per day, per hour,
per day.
Okay.
Yeah, something like that. It's like $30 a day, depending on what type you get. And the pressure washer, I think, is only like $12.99 or $15.99 per day or something like that.
Okay. So how long do you think it'll take you to make $10,000 off your $500?
That's all I would do. So I'm sleeping in the tent, so I don't have to worry about paying rent. I'm gonna just eat simple little meals that fill me up.
You gonna get
I'm gonna buy like one little rice cookers and a little George Foreman. So I don't need much. So I'm gonna cook my rice, throw my meat on the little George Foreman grill, and I'm gonna just be cutting grass and cleaning all day. And if I can't find nothing in between, I'm gonna be walking dogs, doing all that different shit.
Hey, if you don't got 10K right now,
it'll probably take me about a month, I'd say.
All right.
I'd say maybe on a long end, I'd say it'd probably take me about a month to make 10K.
Cool. This is what I'm gonna do. I got $500 in the PayPal account. I'm gonna spend $100. I ain't about to spend that. I got a phone though. All right, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go sign up for a Shopify account, right? $29.99. I'm gonna build. I'm gonna use my phone to take product photos of whatever. I'm gonna build out a very mobile-friendly website on my phone, right? Boom. So I'm gonna be able to like go show somebody my website. This is my website, blah, 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 right? Cool. $29.99 to set up the Shopify account. I'll use a free theme. I might even pay for a theme, which might hit me for another $50. Boom, I'm out $80, right? Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk to the busiest shopping center in the city, and I'm going to look up every single business in the shopping center and look for their website and look for their social media. So if Claire's Clothing doesn't have an Instagram account or doesn't have a website, when I look them up, they only got 4 pictures and they're all dingy of their clothes or whatever. I'm gonna offer them to build them a website and set up their social media account. Their social media account should have their hours of operation, a link to their website, their address, some product photos in which I'll take myself on my phone. And so I'll set up their social media, I'll give them 5 pictures, and I'll set up their website for $500. That's what I'm gonna do for $500. So in a busy shopping center like in California, it might be 15 stores, 20 stores in the shopping center. I need a conversion rate of like, I don't know, nothing, right? Like I need 3 people to say yeah. I'll go ask 20 people if I can build out their website. Mind you, it's a business. Businesses have money, especially money geared towards to marketing, right? So they have a budget for this. I'm not gonna try to hand in hand people because the average person might not have $500 to cough up to you. But a business for sure could cough up $500, especially if it's going towards, to improve the business. So I'm gonna build a $500 website. A $500 website and their social media is kind of unheard of for $500, but I'm gonna do it. If I don't know how to do it, if you're watching this and you don't know how to do it, then you're gonna get on YouTube and you're gonna YouTube how to build a Shopify website. Then you're gonna spend the first 10 hours just learning, right? But anyway, so I'm gonna go to every shopping center until I hit $10,000, right? As soon as I'm hired to do this, I'm gonna ask for half of the money up front, $250, and then the other half upon delivery. Me building out their website, getting their photos taken, all that stuff, I would say per one business, it should take me about 3 hours. So I'll just go until I hit $10,000. It should probably take me, so if I go to shopping centers with 20 businesses in there, I just need 3 out of 20 to say yes. It's $1,500, per shopping center,
which is reasonable. So
I'll have my money in 3 days.
So he would have the money in 3 days, right? I would have the money in about a month's time frame, and that's all on what is, right? But if you want a guaranteed for sure way of how to get 10 grand, if you only have $500 to your name, that's what it was, $500. You could do it in 50 days, right? You could take that $500. You can go on.
Bro, you could just go have a car wash, bro.
Yeah, you can do that. But I'm gonna give somebody out there a for sure way, a guaranteed way, and they can do it in 50 days. What they do is, if you got $500 to your name, go on, hire a car, tour, or whatever, rent a car out, and start doing Instacart. You do Instacart for a full day, you're guaranteed to make at least $200 a day. $200 a day, 50 days. There's your 10 bands.
What do you think? Hey, what do you think? If you do Uber Eats for one whole day, like let's say 8 hours, what do you think you can make?
About the same. About $150 to $250.
150, 200. Oh, it got to be all day though. You got to be on it.
Like 8 hours is all day?
Yeah, 8 to 10 hours.
8 to 10 hours is.
I'm gonna tell y'all something.
That's a guaranteed way. Guaranteed way to make $10,000.
I promise y'all, I gave you guys a very actionable, reasonable, like legit way to make $10,000, and I know it's possible because I used to hit businesses for this $500, and they be like, "What, you gonna do all this for $500?" Yes, you're gonna make the bargain so good that they feel like they're cheating you by only giving you $500, right? Now I'm gonna tell y'all, everybody who watches this, I'm gonna tell y'all why y'all not gonna do it. You're afraid of rejection. You don't feel comfortable speaking to people because you spend all day, every day playing on your cell phone and not interacting with other humans. But you can literally learn this skill for free, and then you can go hit every restaurant in your city, especially the mom and pops,
need it.
Like they need this, bro. Like this is. They don't know how to.
They don't know how to do it. They don't want to spend the time.
Okay, here we go. Perfect thing you said. Check this out. Most business owners, especially brick and mortar stores, are older people.
Yeah.
People who are on social media, know how to work social media, know how to build websites, are younger people.
Yep.
You need, and their customers are probably younger people. You need to bridge this gap. Mm-hmm. They'd happily cough up $500 to me. Easily. So I got my money in 3 days, man. So that was a good question, though.
Yeah, that was a good question.
Okay.
And we just gave you guys, 4 different ways on how
off the top of our heads, man.
In less than 3 months.
Oh.
But the thing is, nobody will put in the work. People look at cutting grass and washing cars something teenagers do.
It's beneath them, bro. For somehow, some way.
Full businesses with 10, 20 employees cleaning cars and landscaping. That's huge. But especially the people frown upon the cleaning.
People don't want to win; they want to look sexy. Yeah. Bro.